This lesson will be looking at writing the equation of a line if you know the slope and the y-intercept, or if you know the slope and a point. Remember, slope-intercept form of a line is the easiest form of a line equation to work with. It's y equals mx plus b. So if we're looking at this example, it says write the equation of a line with a slope of 4 and a y-intercept of 6. So we know that m, remember m stands for the slope, is 4, and b stands for the y-intercept, that's 6. So our equation, if we substitute those two values in for m and b, is y equals 4x plus 6. If we have something like this one says write the equation of a line with the slope of 0 and a y-intercept of 6. So that means my m is 0 and my y-intercept, or my b, is 6. So my equation would be y equals 0x plus 6. And remember, 0 times anything is just 0. So it's really y equals 0 plus 6, which is y equals 6. So my final step of my equation is y equals 6. When you have a slope of 0, remember that's a horizontal line, and your horizontal equations are y equals and a constant number, in this case 6. You could have an equation where you have to write for an undefined slope and you're given the x-intercept. So this one says write the equation of a line with the undefined slope and an x-intercept of 3. Remember, when you have a slope that's undefined, that's a vertical line, and vertical lines, the equation is always x equals a constant. So in this case, our x-intercept is 3, so x is going to be equal to 3 as our final equation. You might be given a line and asked to find the equation. When you have a line and you're asked to find the equation, you still need the two values in order to write the equation. You need the slope and you need the y-intercept. The y-intercept, we can see from our grid, is at -1, so our b is -1. If we're using the 2 points where the smiley face is, I can draw a triangle to identify my slope. So I rose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I believe. And we ran 1, 2, 3. So my slope is 9 over 3, or just 3. So then my equation is y equals 3x minus 1. These, remember, are special types of lines. The first one is horizontal. Horizontal means it's a 0 slope. So then I'm looking at my equation being y equals, and then it's equal to the number where it's crossing the y-axis. So it's crossing at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my equation is y equals 6. When you have vertical line, there is no slope. So there is no slope, or the slope is what we call undefined. So my equation is x equals a constant, and the constant is where the x-intercept is, which would be at -4. So our equation there is x is equal to -4. Then you could also be asked to write the line of an equation, or write the equation of a line with a given slope, but then only a point that it passes through. So this time you don't necessarily know the y-intercept, but you can find it. So we know that m is equal to 4 because the slope is 4, and then we know a point. So we know the points are written where the first number is the x and the second number is the y. So if I substitute those values into my equation, the y is 7, the m is 4, the x is 1, and then I don't know what b is. I can use this now to solve for b. So I have 7 is equal to 4 times 1, which is 4, plus b. To solve for b, we want to get rid of the 4. So to get rid of plus 4, I would have to subtract 4 from both sides. So 7 minus 4 is 3. 4 minus 4 is 0. They cancel out, and I'm left with b. So now I know my b. So I can use that value to write my equation. So my equation is y equals 4x plus 3. You might also be asked to write equations with parallel lines or perpendicular lines. And remember, we previously learned about their slopes. This particular example asks you to write an equation that is parallel to the line y equals 3x minus 9, but passes through the point 1, 3. Remember, with parallel lines, the slopes are the same. So the slope or the coefficient in that equation that we're given is the 3. So we know our slope is still going to be 3. And then I know that this value is an x and this value is a y. So just like we did previously, I can solve for b by substituting into my equation. So y is 3, m is 3, x is 1, and then I don't know what b is. So I have y or 3 equals 3 times 1, which is 3, plus b. To solve for b, I have to subtract 3 from both sides. 3 minus 3 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0 again, so they cancel out, and I'm left with b. So b is equal to 0. So my equation is y equals 3x plus 0. And if this part is plus 0, do we really need it? No. So we can simplify it further by writing y equals 3x.